Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make Batman. And we're going to make him on a single loom. The configuration is the offset configuration, so columns 1 and 3 are going to be the same height. Column 2 is a little bit higher. The arrows are going to be facing towards you. If you don't have arrows, the open side of the peg is going to be facing towards you. The colours that you are going to need are black and grey and flesh tone, a flesh tone, whichever you choose. You're going to need 2 little seed beads, E-beads, whichever you choose. And I use a metal threader made from a twisty tie, and I have a YouTube video on how you can make one of those, which I recommend you have a look at. They're very, very helpful for threading eyes onto a band, and that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start doing the things that we will put to one side. Using your threader, pop your band through it, grab your 2 little beads, and we're just going to thread those onto the band like so. Okay, spread those out, and they, are going to be ready for us a little bit later down the track. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. We're going to make his arms, and to do that we're going to start at the bottom of our loom. Let me see if I can make it so you can see a little better. Bottom of our loom here, and we're going to start with 3 bands up here. Then it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, and the last 2 are going to be here. We're going to put an end cap here, and you're going to wrap it round a few times. 1, 2, 3. I always tend to use a hook to help me at the end. 4 and 5. I'm going to go down below that end cap and grab the 2 bands and pull them up and loop to the peg above it. And we'll do all the way up till you get to this one. This one's going to loom across to here. Then you're going to loom up and take it off the loom and place it back on the loom in this position here. Then you're going to loom those 2 bands up. We're going to take this off the loom and hold it on a holding hook, just like that. Okay, I'm going to make another one. 3 bands, place them on your loom, then 2, 2, 2, 2, so you want 5 pair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to get the next pair and put them to the side here, and we need an end cap on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use my hook for number 5 because I always get a bit, I use my smaller hook. I have a 2.75 hook and a 3.75 hook. I use my 3.75 hook for all my normal looming. My 2.75 I use for the fiddly things. Fiddly little things that just need that extra little bit of helping hand. Here we go. Now poke your hook down and find just those 2 bottom bands, looming up till we get to this one. Loom across, loom up, take it off, put it back on. Make sure you put all bands back on, and then grab those bottom 3 and loom up. It's going to go on a holding hook. So we've got both arms here. We're also going to put both his ears here. He has bat ears, so we're going to put those on here as well. For the ears, again, we're going to be at the bottom part of the loom. We're using a single band. Stretch it, twist it into a figure 8 and loop it on itself, and place it over a peg like that. Again, and then one more here. And we're going to put our end cap on here. You're going to twist it at least 5 or 6 times. 1, 2, wait, whoopsie, 2, 3, 4, I'm getting my hook, 5, and I'd like to do it 6 times, but my keyboard is getting in the way here. 6. Go down below that end cap, grab the band. It is 2, but it's a single band, but because it's been looped on itself, you're going to loom it to the side here. Loom this one up, take it off and place it here on the loom, and then loom that one up. It's going to go on your holding hook as your first little ear. I'm going to do another one of those. A single band, twist it into a figure 8 and loop it on itself, place it across the peg. Another one, and one more that you're going to place over here. You're going to put an end cap here. We're going to wrap it 5 or 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Poke your hook down, grab those 2 bottom bands. Oh, sorry, nearly went up. We're looming to the side. Grab that one and loom up and take it off the loom and replace it back here on the other side. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze, but it's got to go there. And then loom up. Make sure things are sort of straightened. I'm going to take that off the loom, and again it's going to sit on a holding hook until we're ready to use it. Okay, so now we're ready to start with the face. We're going to be double banding. 2 bands go across the pegs as if they were one. I can tell you this one is wrong. I'm going to take that one off. That should be a skin tone one. Skin tone from here to here. Skin tone from here to here. And skin tone from here to here. Make sure they're not twisted. And now we're going to put black here. And black here. We're going to use 3 black bands for his neck. And push those down. And then we're back to double banding for his shoulders. And for his chest and legs, it's all going to be until we get to his boots. It's all going to be double banding. So for these pegs we're doing 3 instead of 2. So take 3 bands and place them as if they were 1, and try and make sure they're not twisted. This will make his boots a little thicker than his trousers. Again, the next ones we're going to be 3. And 3. Now here we're going to take 4 silver bands, and we're just going to place them there. That's all we're going to do at this stage. We're going to get 2 double bands and we're going to place it over like that. Another 2 there. We're going to put his ears on, so take your hook that you were using as your holding hook, stretch it out and put one ear on, stretch it out, put the other ear on, and his arms. We need to do his boots. Take 3 black bands, place your hook through, wrap it once and twice, 3 black bands, and slide those on. I try and lift and slide so they don't get too twisted on there. Reclaim the end of your bands, and they are going to go, well, this first boot is just going to go on the end of this leg, and then we're going to do the same again for the next leg. And that will go there. We need to do some crossover bands. Crossover bands tie everything in. So we're going to take a single band and stretch it across like a triangle, and take this bit that has nothing over on top of that peg there. For this one we're going to take a single band and stretch it, figure 8, and loop it on itself, and we will stretch it over those 3 pegs, and the same for these 2. Single band, stretch into a figure 8, loop it on itself, and then this one we'll just do a single band and pop it over like that. For his face here we're going to take a single band and we're going to loop it once, twice, 3 times. We're also going to take another as a crossover band and put it above on that peg there like a triangle. Then we're going to take our eyes and we're going to stretch it across here like so. Okay. Right, we're about ready to start with our looming. Down to his foot, pull back the foot and grab the 2 bands and loom up. when you have a crossover band, pull it back with the back of your hook, grab the 2 bands and loom them up. And you're just going to do that until you just go past his belt there. Do the same on the other side. Just one more, just up to there. So for his middle area, go up 1, up the next. Now what we need to do is take 2 of these grey bands and pull them out. They're going to be this side, the other 2 are going to be the other side. But I'd like to put some actual, I'd like to make it look like a utility belt. So I'm going to get a black and a silver, and I'm going to wrap it once, twice, 3 times like that. So and keep it on my peg, on my hook. As I pull those 2 out, I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to roll these over onto that band so that it looks like he's got something attached to the belt, and I'm going to then loop it to the center pin here, the center peg. I'm going to do the same on the other side, but I'm just going to use a black 1, 2, 3, and another black one, 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4, it doesn't matter really. Grab those other 2 bands, those 2 silver bands, pull them out, and you're just going to slide those on. And these are going to look like things have been attached to his belt. Again, those 2 ends have to link on to that middle peg. Push it down, it might be a bit crowded. Dig your hook down and find the bottom 2 black bands. I found a black and a silver, that's not going to work. I need 2 black bands. There's 1. And you can do it 1 at a time, that doesn't matter either. Let's find that other bottom black band. It's hiding. I'm just trying to find exactly where that band is so that we know that we've actually got it. I think we have. Alright, so we're going to loom up further. Loom up to the arms on both sides, and then loop the arms, the shoulder bits up to the throat. Dig down to those bottom 2 bands to grab them, and then loom the thorax to the throat, and the throat is 3 bands that you need to pull up to the neck. You now know that your arms have all been linked in, everything is secure there. Looking for the top 2 bands, in my case it's these ones on the left, grab them and loom them up and across, and the same with the black ones for the other side. Now we're going to do the face. Grab the left side first and loop that in, then the other side, loop that in. If it gets stuck, just wiggle your hook around the outside. Then this middle one looms up, dig down, find the 2 black bands and loop that up. They're now secured in place, they're not going anywhere. Two bottom black bands, loom up, dig down and find the 2 bottom black bands on both of these sides. Whoops, there's too many bands. Grab then just the 2 bottom ones, otherwise we'll be in strife. Tweak the ears. And then lucky last is this band. Loom that up to the middle, push down, grab 2 black bands, stick your hook down the centre of this peg. Whoops, sorry. Stick it out the side there. I'm making you all seasick. Grab those 2 black bands, twist so the back of your hook is going against those bands, and pull. Reclaim the end of your bands and pull the 2 that are closest to you up, over and off, and tighten. We'll take him off the loom. I use the back of a crochet hook to do that because I don't like broken bands. Gently over the area where there are lots of bands because you don't want anything snapping. Okay, so we'll take him off the loom, we'll tighten him up a bit, pull him into shape, make sure his arms aren't dislocated. Okay, his utility belt is okay. You can move one of those around a bit because remember we added 2 black bands there, 2 sets. So sort of make it look like he's got a utility belt on, like so. We're going to hide these 2 bands here, unless of course you want to attach them to a keychain. We're going to hide them discreetly at the back here, behind some of these other bands. So pull them through. Like that, and get your S clip or your C clip, attach one side here, and now we're going to do his mouth, and that will come through so we can attach the other side to the mouth. Grab a black band, stab him through the face, my favourite part. Grab your black band and pull it through halfway. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Grab the other side of that band, pull it through. Whoops, now I pulled it too far. See, I pulled it all the way through. So I have to go back here, grab that black band again and pull it through. Find both ends. So I've got one end here, the other end here. What I like to do is take the one closest to me and loop it over and off. I just feel that's a little more secure, and hook that on the end of that clip. So we have his face. I try and make it so he doesn't look like he's grinning like a loon. Might make it so that his mouth is straight. I take a silver Sharpie, and on these little black eyeballs I try and do a silver horizontal line so that it looks like a slit through his mask. Like that. Obviously trying not to draw all over the bands. Sometimes I'm not that successful. So there is Batman. Well, he's missing one thing. He's missing his cape. So let's do that next. Again, we're going to use a single loom and black bands, double banding, offset configuration. Start at the top here. And we're going to go down 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and lucky last 10, and the same for the other columns. Last one. There we go. Okay, so now that we're down here, we're going to do another layer. I like to have a wider cape, and I'm not going to start all the way at the top. I'm going to start one down from that one. So start at peg number 2, both sides, but not the middle. And it's going to still be 2 bands at a time. And this is going to be your second layer. You know me, I'm the queen of extended looms. I love working on extended looms, but so many people have said, well, I've only got one loom. So this is my cheat. So that I can still have that extra width and put that extra detail in. Push it down because it's going to get a bit bunched up. And down here. Now we need to do our crossover bands. Take a single band, stretch it out and put it over like a triangle. They do not have to be double looped because it's going to stretch 5 columns. And on the bottom one here too. And what you're going to do is lift this one over, but make sure that the bottom bits are still covering the peg. We're also going to put end caps here, so take a single band, stretch it once, twice and break it. Once and twice, and we will do it on the peg because it's being silly. Once, twice, 3 times. I want it at least 4 times wrapped around. Four times. And the other one here, the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're ready to loom this up. We're just going to loom this top layer. You're going to leave this bottom layer completely alone. Go past the end cap and past the crossover band and find the top 2 bands and loom up. All the way to the second pin from the top. And this is where we stop. And go to the other side, past the end cap, past the crossover band, and just grab those 2 top bands and loom up. Push the crossover band back with the back of your hook to grab those 2 top bands. And stop when you get to the second from the top. There. Now what we need to do, put your finger, thumb, whatever on and gently lift that layer off the loom, leaving the crossover bands in their correct spot. See what I'm doing? I'm lifting that layer off, see, but I'm leaving that bottom layer there. Top layer off, and then the same on the other side. Push your hook through and it's the top layer off, but leave the crossover bands in their correct place. Okay, we're ready to loom the next layer. Let's take this bottom layer off here. That bottom hook needs to be free and we need to put crossover bands there, so just take this top one off here. Oops, what did I do there? Oh, I think that's a crossover band. Let me pull that back to have a look. There we go. Kind of right. We need to put end caps here. And then we loom up. So go down below the end cap, grab the two bands and loom up. And it should be very clear. There's just the two bands there. Two bands, loom up. Now when you get to this second from the top, you're going to loom onto it and then you're going to loom the next one over it just like you would normally. Same this side. Go under the end cap, pull the two bands up and you're just going down the bottom for the two bands and looming up. The middle row, the same. Oops, nearly lost one. Then we loom the sides and the middle and grab two black bands. Push your hook down the middle and out through the side. Grab it, pull it back round and up and reclaim. Take the two that are closest to you up, over and off and pull into a slip knot. And we're ready to take this off the loom. Stretch it out. and that is his cape. What I like to do with this is from the front of him go through a shoulder blade, go through the 2 shoulder blades here, there's 2 bands, grab one of these bands, the loop, the end, the loop that we have just tied off with, and pull that through, and do the same on the other side, through the shoulder blade, grab that band and oops, and drop it and pull it through. Sorry, I'm not having much luck here. Come here, little band. There we go. Pull it through. Now, when you've got the 2 bands this side, take one and you're going to sort of loop it back over itself, back to the back again. Spread it out with your fingers. Grab the cape and push it through. And then the same with the other side. Spread it out, get the cape and loop it through. And then you've got his cape attached to his shoulders, like so. And there, my friends, we have Batman. And he should even stand up for a very short while. Good luck with it. I long to see yours. Please post them to our Facebook page. Take care.